This is a Z89 exclusive interview.
Welcome back to A Brief Intermission, the show where you can take a brief intermission from your day and get front row delivery of all of the backstage theater news right here in Central New York on your party station, Z89. This week, we are so excited to be joined by two actors and the director from Baldwinsville Theatre Guild's upcoming production of Hair, an iconic musical that will be taking place at the Everson Museum from February 5th through February 8th. Please welcome director Adam Shatra and Hannah Pegg and Ryan Sullivan. Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us.
We are so excited to jump right into all things hair. But before we get into the actual show itself, would love to hear about all of your backgrounds and what brought you into this industry.
Sure. Hi, I'm Hannah. I am a SUNY Fredonia alum. I went to school for theater and English, so I've been doing this for a while. This is my second show now with Baldwinsville Theatre Guild. I'm happy to join them again for this one. Love theater. Always been doing it my whole life. This is kind of my side gig after my 9 to 5. So I'm glad that I've found my community and my people with Baldwinsville.
So currently right now, Ryan Sullivan, by the way. But, currently right now I'm a first year at Lemoyne, right down the street, studying film and VPA. And this is my second community theater show ever. And yeah, I've just been doing theater all my life. I love to dance, sing, and act. It's all things that come to life. So yeah, no, I just love theater and hair. I mean, come on, you know?
Perfect.
You know,
Obviously that too.
You know?
I'm Adam Shatra. I'm currently the Director of Fine Arts for the Liverpool Central School District, but my role with Baldwinsville is that I'm the Artistic Director for the company, and also happen to have the honor of directing this particular show. I have a background of being a theater and choir teacher at high school level for 18 years before I went into administration. So I've been doing this a real long time, and I will say that theater is probably the most rewarding part of my career.
I love that. Okay, so for those who don't know, and without giving too much away, what is Hair about?
Great. I'll start and you guys can jump in.
Yeah.
Great. So Hair kind of is about taking place in the late 60s, right, during the Vietnam War era, the height of the protests and civic and social unrest. It takes place in New York City amongst a group of hippies, yes. They call themselves the Tribe. There's not a lot of one of the things I really like about the show is that there's not a lot of principal characters. They all work in tandem together. It's a great community of people. It follows the story of one young man named Claude, who has been drafted and is really torn with the decision he's going to make as to whether he's going to stay with his chosen family, his group, his tribe, and stay against the conflation of going into the war effort, or if he's going to do what he's been raised to do by a conservative family and go into the war effort. Yeah. Anything to add to that?
And as a member of the Tribe, we fight for freedom, peace, happiness, and we all love each other. We're all very close, and throughout rehearsal process, honestly, like it feels like we're actually a tribe now, like in real life. So yeah, I just love that.
I love that. And you mentioning that you feel like an actual tribe, what sort of exercises or different things that you guys did to kind of make you feel more of that community behind the curtain that then is able to help you transform that into on stage through your characters as well?
We did a lot of improv work. We found the sound of the tribe, so we kind of we all work off of each other's energy. We've done a lot of movement work because we're all over the place on the stage. A lot of it's playing. And we haven't really gotten a lot of direction from you in the sense of like traditional, this is where you're going to stand, this is what you're going to do. It's like, this is the general picture, now work towards that. And I think just on a human level, we all are really looking out for each other because it's a hard time to just be a human right now, especially in this country. So we all just try to acknowledge that, yes, we are a tribe on stage, but we're also people who have lives and have struggles. So we just try to look out for one another and just form a community that way.
And also throughout rehearsal, sometimes we'd have these like sit down talks where we'd get in a group and get in a circle and talk more about the complex scenes that need to be talked about. And I feel like by doing that and portraying that on stage, like the same day in rehearsal, it just automatically made everything feel more together and us together.
Yeah, a few of the things that I kind of did with intentionality putting this piece together was even during auditions, during callbacks, I made it very highly improvisatory. We did an entire improv workshop during callbacks just so I could see who would really bounce ideas off each other and work together and really increase the level of the group. And also a lot of times I would say we'd stop rehearsal, like we were doing blocking rehearsal, I'd stop and I'd be like, so what I have in my script here right now is play with this a little bit. And I would just let them go with the pages of the script and see what would come out of it and take things from that, not take things from that. So there's been a lot of freedom. It's not the typical way that I direct. So there's a lot of like, I'm like, ooh, I'm uncomfortable with this. I'm gonna sit in my discomfort and let them do the thing, you know? So.
Yeah. It's really beautiful and amazing how much collaborative work goes into theater. And so obviously you guys have done really well with that, but do you want to tell me a little bit about your characters?
Oh yeah, I'll start. Yeah, so Hood, he's a very bold, charismatic, high energy guy. He likes to bring a little bit of a comedic part into the show, where he stands for social injustice, and he likes to make some of those parts he's talking about comedic, and he likes to have fun, and he loves everybody in the tribe.
One of the fun parts about this show is that I get to be multiple people, and I think what I think other people would iterate as well in the tribe with non-named characters is that it's kind of a build your own character, and as we are doing this improvisation work on stage, we're building our relationships with people, which thus makes you create your character's story. So I get to play Susanna and Diane, and I get to be a monk at some point, which out of context makes no sense, but in the context of the show also makes no sense.
It just ends up making sense altogether. Which is just so perfect, and what makes this show, it has such like a special quality about it, and makes it so relevant, even though it came out originally in the 60s during the height of the Vietnam War. So I want to ask too, when this show came out, it was very controversial, and a lot of times fans were trying to get it, or not fans, I guess, because they didn't really like the show, or people were trying to say that it was violating decency laws and things like that. So even though it came back with a revival in 2009 that I feel like kind of reintroduced a lot of young people to hair, what made you want to do this production here now in 2026?
I think that question can be answered probably for each individual person themselves, because right now the themes and material of hair are so incredibly relevant.
Yes.
Just by turning on the news and being like, oh, we're still dealing with this issue now, today. Also, the controversy of it, like community theater by and large has the latitude to lean into a little bit of controversy, right? We're not necessarily leaning on making a profit all the time. We're leaning into what's important for our community. And when I was choosing this season for this year, I chose pieces that I felt would do that really well. And hair, I wanted to be loud. I wanted it to be make a point, make a statement, say all of the words that are said in this show, and bring power back to some of that language that's being used as attack language now again. And as well as, speaking to feminism and anti-war and all of the thematic material that's in this show. We just need to give more power to that, and I think that we have a unique group of people bringing that to life right now.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so kind of going off of that, I know you said that you like to keep everything basically how it is, but some productions like this make changes since the language is insensitive. Did you guys end up making any changes or taking out any songs?
So that's a fantastic question. No, we didn't make changes to any of the text. The text is as it is. We have given people some options as to how they might want to approach the text, how they feel with their how they feel in their comfort level with that, and given them some latitude to make their own decisions. I know that we'll likely get to this question, so I'm going to just go ahead and answer it. The initial production, you said violated people were trying to say it violated decency laws, and that was because of the nude scene at the end of Act One. So one of the conversations, as Ryan was alluding to, was we sat down as a company and said, how are we going to approach this scene? In the original script, there was no nude scene. That came out of the actors' work throughout the process in that original production. Yeah. So, the decency laws have changed. In the initial production, they weren't even allowed to move once they had removed their clothing. They had to stand still until the lights went out. In the 2009 revival, it wasn't that way at all. The laws had changed. People were in all sorts of undress. It wasn't all nude in the 2009 revival. So I gave them a bunch of options to work with. I said, we're going to have this group discussion. We're not going to make any decisions together. We talked through it. And while we're not going to have any actual nudity, we will be still having that moment with significantly less clothing than we were wearing before, but it will not be a full nude. So, but it was a great discussion to have. Some great points were made about body autonomy and what this nudity really means and why it's important, why it's not important, why our times are different than it was in 1967. It was a great opportunity to talk about those things.
And for you guys as actors, how kind of was approaching that conversation from not necessarily a director's standpoint, but from the actors themselves? Like, were you nervous going into it, being like, oh, are they going to make me do something? Like, what were your feelings about that?
I definitely know there was some reservations even before auditioning into the show. Some people knew that it was in there and some people did not know until it was brought up in discussion. And I think on a human level, yeah, anybody would be nervous getting in front of couple hundred people and stripping down. But I think as an actor, this is an incredible challenge to be that vulnerable. Yes, we get to be vulnerable on stage the whole time, but to be that vulnerable, and specifically with the text that we're singing, I think people will take away a message that you don't have to be like, ooh, look, they're naked on stage. It's the act of, we are stripping down to our bare bones. This is us in our entirety. We are here together. We are here with you. And we don't want you to just see us as, oh, a bunch of naked, crazy hippies. Like, this has a meaning. This is important.
Yeah. And the fact that we took time and our director gave us a survey for that just means a lot. And it's awesome.
Yeah. Have you gotten any audience feedback, or what has the reaction been like since you announced that you were going to be doing hair as a part of your season this year?
So interesting. The first question always is, are they going to be naked?
Yeah. Everybody always asks that every day.
Yeah, right? Every day. But other than that, I mean, I think a lot of the feedback that I've received is exactly what you were asking about earlier, which is, why this now, or this is so relevant now, this is the perfect time to do this show. I've heard a lot of that, and we're actually in Aquarius now too, so that's
we are.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So have you guys gotten feedback from families or friends?
My family is excited because this was their generation. They grew up with the Fifth Dimension's music. They grew up with the movie Hair and the opening of Hair. And my mom was a part of the hippie generation, went to the second iteration of Woodstock. So she's so excited to see it on stage. And as a family who are very in tune with activism, she's excited to see these uncomfortable topics being laid out there, and hoping that people leave with some kind of uncomfortability by taking something away from it. And my big hope is that people know that it's safe to have community, to rely on your neighbors and your friends, and we're all here for each other. The city of Syracuse, we're here for you, that we're talking to you, and this is for you,
Yeah. Couldn't have said it any better. I mean, we just hope like every audience member takes something out of the show.
Yeah, so obviously all of the acting and the camaraderie and everything like that adds to the show, but another thing that adds to the show is location. So is there a specific reason you chose the Everson Museum?
A couple of reasons. One, it seats more people.
Yes.
Right? The stage is significantly larger than our typical home. We can do a lot more things with it, and last year we performed Rent on the Everson stage, and that was a fantastic, fabulous, wonderful experience. And the partnership with them builds another community connection for us, right? Like, that's just another community connection for us to have. So while we are homed in Baldwinsville, we consider ourselves to be a real CNY theater company. and adding to the city and their theater scene is really a big part of what we want to do too. Yeah.
And for all of you, what has kind of been the most rewarding part of this entire process of putting on a show, and how long have you guys been working on this production?
I'll let you guys go first.
Well, we started. When did we start?
December 3rd.
December 3rd.
All right.
There you go.
And now we're here. What was the question? My favorite part?
Like most rewarding part, and then just like what it was like, because it is a pretty decent quick turnaround,
Yeah.
especially with like the holidays and things like that. It
Yeah.
can
Yep.
make things a little bit different. And the snow,
The snow.
of course,
Yes.
making it hard to transportation and things like that. But yeah, just like the most rewarding part for you just being in this production.
As we are still going on with this production, I think the most rewarding part as of now, until we get to the show, recently we finished the show and we finished Act 2, and that has a lot of like emotional upbringing to that, and I'm just like honestly like so proud of everybody that we can just like get through that part of the scene multiple times and really like hone in our acting and really be there and really act like it's really happening to us. And just like, yeah, I'm just very proud of everybody who's on that stage and who's working on this production.
Before even auditioning for this, I was on the track of doing a bunch of funny shows back to back because I was like, I want to do something lighthearted, something that's fun. And while this show is incredibly funny at times, it is very grounded, and there are a lot of humbling and deeply emotional moments. So I knew as a person I wanted to have this experience because I knew it would be a life-changing one. This is like a dream come true show between the cast and the production crew. I'm just so incredibly proud of the show, and to be doing it with old friends and to be making new friends that are hopefully lifelong friends at this point. I mean, we see a lot of the same faces, so it's nice to get to do it with people you know, but I think that this is going to be one for the books for me because I've been looking to use my voice more, and what better way than to get up on the stage and to scream it at people.
I would say the most rewarding thing for me, probably twofold. One is seeing the company that I'm the artistic director for really open up the doors to a very diverse group of cast members and new cast members and people who haven't necessarily done many shows recently, and age range. It's just such an incredibly diverse group of people. And then to watch that incredibly diverse group of people become a tribe who are really caring for each other, who really are looking out for each other, who during rehearsal will say, we need to hold to me because there's something going on stage
Yes.
that needs to be taken care of. Or there's an emotional moment that we need to pause for. And they take care of each other on the stage, backstage, and really throughout their day, even when they're not there, which is really, really great to see.
Yeah. And you guys have been talking a lot about different like emotions you feel throughout the show, but do you have like a favorite song or part in the show?
I love to dance. I love to dance.
Yes.
I love
And
to
we can see
dance.
that.
I would say my favorite songs to perform are Hair, of
Yes.
course, and Good Morning Starshine.
Mhm.
I love that song. I love that dance.
Going into the show, the finale is my favorite.
Oh my gosh.
Every time I listen to it, gives me goosebumps and makes me cry, and I know I will be crying Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is definitely one of my favorites, and Aquarius as well. It's just like a perfect opening number to bring everybody in.
Yeah, it really is. I keep saying it's funny. I love the show. I saw the 2009 revival with Gavin Creel, and my cousin had just been deployed to Afghanistan that week. So the show at the end, I was a puddle on the floor. It was a really tough time and tough thing to see. And I've been tight with the show since then. I've always wanted to do it and never thought I'd have the opportunity because I was a high school teacher. So having this opportunity, I keep going into rehearsals going, oh, that's my favorite song. Oh, that's my favorite moment. And then
really
it changes the next
changes.
day.
Yes.
It really does. Every single time I go to rehearsal, I'm like, no, that's now my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally believe that. Even just with some of my favorite shows like of all time. It's like every single time I watch it, I notice something different.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine. I mean, I've never been in a theater production, but I've seen a lot of them. But I can't imagine from like an actor or director standpoint being able to do it day in and day out and find all these nuances to your characters or different acting choices, dance choices, singing choices that you can make with each production. So it's happening February 5th through the 8th at the Everson. I know you kind of have mentioned it all throughout the interview, but just kind of as a closing, like, why do you think the Syracuse community, the Central New York community, should go out and see this show?
I'll let you guys have the sound bites first.
Okay.
I think it's an incredibly poignant time to be with your community right now. And I hope that people come and see this, and I hope that it influences them in the way that I'm sure it did in the 60s and 70s with people to get out there and to make your voice be heard and to stand up for your friends and to stand up for yourself. So I hope that people leave this and maybe they decide, I want to help a nonprofit. I want to donate my time or my money. I want to call my representatives and see some kind of change. I know that has done that for me, so I can only imagine for people seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, going off of her, just the amount of community that this show brings, and like back when I said we want like the audience members to leave with that sense of community, and I mean, community, we show like a lot of community, and I just want like people to see that it really matters in life and outside of things.
Yeah, I say I want people to understand that it's really important to challenge yourself, and it's really important to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
And this show makes you sit in that discomfort. It makes you sit in it for a very long time, and it's different points for different people, but come and be challenged in a time where so often we're in an echo chamber of people who are like-minded to us. Let's go and sit with this discomfort for a little while and think about what's important in life and why these messages are important. That's what I would like people to take away.
Awesome. Yeah. Adam, Hannah, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us here at A Brief Intermission. And again, tickets are right on the
Baldwinsville
website.
Theatre Guild website, baldwinsvilletheatreguild.org.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again so much for coming in, and we will be back next Saturday from 4 to 5 with another episode of A Brief Intermission.